gloating over the acts which have driven the Parliament to taking up a hostile attitude to him, yet holds it his duty to support him against the violent men who have now assumed power, and who are aiming at the subversion of the Constitution and the loss of the country. I fear also, Herbert said, that the Commons have gone grievously beyond their rights. Although did my father hear me say so, I should fall under his gravest displeasure. But he holds that it is necessary that there should be an ecclesiastical sweep, that the prelates should have no more power in the land, that popery should be put down with an iron hand, and that since kings cannot be trusted to govern well, all power should be placed in the hands of the people. My own thoughts do incline toward his, but, as you say, when one sees men like my Lord Falkland, who have hitherto stood among the foremost in the ranks of those who demand that the king shall govern according to law, now siding with him against them, one cannot but feel how grave are the difficulties, and how much is to be said on either side. How is one to choose? The king is overbearing, haughty, and untrue to his word. The Parliament is stiff-necked and bent upon acquiring power beyond what is fair and right. There are, indeed, grievous faults on both sides. But it seems to me that should the king now have his way and conquer the Commons, he and his descendants will henceforth govern as absolute monarchs, and the liberty of the people will be endangered. While on the other hand, should the Parliament gain the upper hand, they will place on a firm basis the liberties of Englishmen, and any excesses which they may commit will be controlled and modified by a future Parliament. For the people of England will no more suffer tyranny on the part of the Commons than of the king. But while they cannot change the one, it is in their power to elect whom they will, and to send up men who will govern things moderately and wisely. At any rate, Harry said, my father thinks that there is neither moderation nor wisdom among the zealots at Westminster, and as I hear that many nobles and country gentlemen throughout England are of the same opinion, methinks that though at present the Parliament have the best of it, and have seized Portsmouth and the Tower and all the depot of arms, yet that in the end the king will prevail against them. I trust, Herbert continued earnestly, that there will be no fighting. England has known no civil wars since the days of the Roses, and when we see how France and Germany are torn by internal dissensions, we should be happy indeed that England has so long escaped such a scourge. It is, indeed, sad to think that friends should be arrayed against each other in a quarrel in which both sides are in the wrong. I hope, Harry said, that if they needs must fight, it will soon be over, whichever way fortune may turn. I think not, Herbert answered. It is a war of religion as much as a war for power. The king and the Commons may strive who shall govern the realm, but the people who will take up arms will do it more for the triumph of Protestantism than for that of Pym and Hampden. How tiresome you both are, Lucy Rippinghall interrupted, pouting. You brought me out here to gather flowers, and you do nothing but talk of kings and Parliament, as if I cared for them. I call it very rude. Herbert is often forgetful, and thinks of his books more than of me. But you, Master Harry, are always polite and gentle, and I marvel much that you should be so changed today. Forgive me, Harry said, smiling. We have been very remiss, Miss Lucy, but we will have no more of high politics, and will, even if never again, he said sadly, devote all our energies to getting such a basket of flowers for you as may fill your rooms with beau-pots. Now, if your Majesty is ready to begin, we are your most obedient servants. And so, with a laugh, the little party rose to their feet and started in quest of wild flowers. The condition of affairs was, at the outbreak of the Civil War,